I'm going to be working on my Panther painting. I started this a while ago with the theme of like the new moon symbology, but I got kind of lost because the eyes, the new moons don't really look like eyes, so I need to rework that. There's an artist out there that I admire a lot who works animals into her abstract pieces, and I want to push this piece that direction. I usually do human faces or figurative work, but I want to try throwing an animal in there. And Panther, so if I reflect on my life, I've been so lucky to have so many animal encounters. The first really poignant animal encounter, I was 6 in America, struggling a bit, of course, and I was really mad for some reason in the house, and our family was staying in this little cottage in the woods, and there was like a brushy, like, water drain area. It was all brushy. It was like kind of like a meadow and a forest and a road, like a dirt road leading that direction. And I don't know why, but I ran out of the house and I was so mad, and I started stomping down the road, and then all of a sudden I looked up and I realized there was a perfect red fox standing at the end of the road looking at me, and we just stared at each other. And I was so overcome with like the awe and wonder of seeing the fox that whatever I was mad about just melted away. Like everything else melted away in that moment. And I was like so... It like took me to another level, even as a kid. I'll always remember this memory because it was like the first time like I felt like I was transported outside myself from the gaze of an animal. And So maybe I've done a fox mandala. It's somewhere, it's color pencil somewhere in my pieces inspired by that fox. But I've had the privilege of touching a lot of animals, wild animals, not out in the wild, but like in facilities. And so I remember when I was teaching English in Mexico, in Tehuacan, and I went to the zoo there, and I heard rumors that the zookeeper is this wealthy man, and if there's a foreigner, he'll let them pet all the animals. True enough, sure enough. I met him and I got a personal invitation to the zoo, but truly enough, he let me pet all the animals and hold the baby monkey. But that panther they say is the panther from Apocalypto. Now this was 14 years ago now, maybe? So I don't know if it's still around, but like, that movie, in the movie that panther was portrayed pretty captivatingly, and so by the time I met the panther, it was a little older and had like a chubby belly and wasn't as in like perfect physique anymore. But I pet its head and I looked into its eyes, and it's like there is a panther medicine. Like every animal has its medicine, and when you meet them and truly connect, there's something there. It's like I've been blessed by like a lot of the sacred animals. I really lucked out. Like I got to hold baby leopard, baby tiger, baby panther that was like a grumpy little spunky guy. I even pet a lion, which is quite rare. They said the African lions were untamable and not safe, even in the zoo, compared to the tigers and the other animals, which I thought was an honor. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I use a variety of matte and, what's the opposite? Shiny and matte paints. So you can see the light shifts according to what paint I'm using. Like this is shiny and this is matte. But the plan is I'm going to fuck this all up. I'm going to change it, I'm going to destroy it, and then hopefully it'll get better. And hopefully I'll capture the essence of what I'm going for. Does it feel like you're looking at a panther? It looks like a funny creature with a beard. It's a Santa Claus. I'm gonna use a spray paint to cover a lot of this quickly. But I don't want to risk the spray paint particles getting on my paintings. Plus, I have a space upstairs that is better for ventilation for spray paint, so I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it upstairs, but I'm not going to record it. But you'll see the before and the after. Okay, we're off to spray paint. Alright, and back to story time. The baby monkey that just clung to me and looked at me like it was his mom. And it broke my heart because I couldn't keep him forever and keep him safe and love him forever. So I want to capture with this painting the glory of that panther encounter when I fed him give him bamboo, and that they come over to eat that, and it kind of distracts them, and you can pet their head. So the moment, I was so scared, I thought it would just bite me even though it was safe. So the moment that I was petting its head and looking into its eyes and like connecting with the panther and receiving the panther medicine, like the panther vibration, whatever you want to call it, I really think that on a metaphysical level, I've been blessed with these encounters, like by encounters with all of these spirit medicine guides in the form of animals and people, but that's a whole nother story. I feel like I have met so many kind people, and they've taken me places, and they've shown me their life, and they've told me their secrets, and they've opened, I've seen so much about the world from people. But right now this painting is about the panther medicine and the moon and the way the eyes look. And it's sort of like that darkness, but then the bright eyes under the forehead, the big cheeks, the strength of the body, like they look so soft and cuddly, but they could just kill you in an instant. The power in the legs. So I would say, if you have the access, then connect with animals however you can today. Maybe it's just your cat or your dog. You probably already know they have great connectivity and great medicine for you. That's probably why they're in your house. Or if you have a chance to walk outside, maybe it's a bird or a squirrel or something else, whatever is local in your neighborhood. And see what animal encounter you get today. Maybe it's even a bug, a dragonfly or a bee or a butterfly. They show up. Alright, let's look at the painting. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you like painting, nature, exploring the inner worlds, and talking about these deep topics and these deep experiences that we all have as humans. Okay, back to the painting. I just slowly work in more detail, paying attention to my sample photo with the shadows. And my sample photo really had a lot of dark with some highlights on it. I went in with the yellow eyes because I wanted that contrast. It conveniently contrasts with the purple theme that I have on this painting. Kind of that royal, mysterious vibe. Here, the mouth part was getting away from me. It was bigger than proportionately accurate for a panther, so I go in with a bite and I fix the edge up a bit. One thing I enjoy about this style of painting is I can go back and forth, layer upon layer, and it just builds up more texture and more interest when the viewer is up close and looking at the painting. So I can give myself a lot of freedom to experiment and to play around with different things before I decide what I ultimately want for the piece. I always like to put my piece upside down to get a different perspective, and it helps me to balance out the general layout of the painting, so that's what I'm doing here, just touching it up a bit. I'm not sure if I'm done. I might leave it to rest for a minute. I feel like it needs something more, but I do kind of like how it's a bit rough. So what do you think? Thank you for watching, and please subscribe because there's going to be more painting videos coming up. It's taken me a bit to find my way on this channel, but I just want to talk about everything, and so I think I'll talk about things as those topics come up in the painting, and that feels good to me.